Hey guys, welcome to another book haul. Hi guys, my name's Trinity. I am here to share my July book haul with you, and I have purchased quite a few books. So I want to start this off with three of my most anticipated books of the year. The first being The Traitor by Anthony Ryan. I am so excited to finish up Covenant of Steel. This has been some of Anthony Ryan's best writing to date, so I have thoroughly enjoyed it. This is more traditional fantasy than what Anthony Ryan normally writes. I do like Anthony Ryan because he writes unique and very interesting books, and I'm not going to say that this is not interesting, because it is. I really like Alwyn Scribe. Loved The Martyr. I think The Martyr was the best writing I've ever seen from Anthony Ryan. And when I recommend books to people, Anthony Ryan books to people, I always tell them my favorite's Draconis Memoria, but I think everybody else will like Covenant of Steel more. So I'm very excited to get to this and just devour it, because I will totally devour it. Okay, next, if you guys saw my mid-year freakout video, you will know I have had the hardest time finding this book, but I found it today. I was so excited. This is also the conclusion to another one of my favorite series. This one is very Star Wars-esque in the fact that we have an empire and a rebellion and lightsabers, but the story itself is actually quite unique. And I have said this in the past, that a lot of it reads like, what if the Jedi weren't the good guys? And I mean, I love Django Wexler's writing. Just everything about this series I have loved so much. So I'm looking forward to getting into this, The Lonesome Crown, The Traitor, and the book I'm about to show you. They have been like, I need them. So again, another author that I really enjoy, and I have been looking forward to this for a while. Now, I do have an audio of this already. I got an audio arc, and then when we went on vacation, it ended up being chaotic, and I didn't get around to reading it. But The Blinded Stars by Megan E. O'Keefe. I love Velocity Weapon. I love the whole Protectorate series, and you see me glancing this way because it's on my favorite sci-fi shelf over there. I have just been dying to get into this one. And the Protectorate and The Graven from Essa Hansen, they are like so high up on my sci-fi list, and I've heard that I'm going to love this, that it has a slow start though, and I will not like the slow start. But Megan E. O'Keefe, I'm gonna probably get to this one very soon. Probably these three I will get to very soon, because I have been so excited for them. Okay, next, I made a trip to the Buy Sell Trade. I ran out of credit, guys. How does that happen? Probably because I opened up my Pingo bookshop, and that's in my description box down below if you're interested. But since I've opened that, I ran out of credit. And so this is what I got with the rest of my credit. From Bad to Cursed by Lana Harper, the first of them being Payback as a Witch, which I'm actually currently reading and loving, by the way. So I'd heard that I was going to like this series, and then I found this one for $3 and was like, okay, I'll just go ahead and get the next one, because from what I've heard of it, I'm already going to love it. Yes. And then we also have another final book in a series. I found Fire Study. The first of these books is Poison Study, Magic Study, and then Fire Study. This is a series I've also been told by so many people I'm going to love. It is YA, but I've heard it reads older YA, and that adults can read this and enjoy it just as much as YA. So looking forward to this one as well. I'm always looking forward to my books. Doesn't mean I'm going to get to them immediately, but I'm always looking forward to them. Okay, this author I've heard a lot about, and that's the reason I picked it up, but that would be Frog Music by Emma Donoghue. There was a couple of people recently, I've watched their videos, and they've talked about Emma Donoghue in a way that makes me feel like I will like what she writes, because she writes like literary mysteries. And this one in particular is kind of on the darker side of what she writes, so I wanted to try it out. It says, it's 1876 in San Francisco. The freewheeling Paris of the West is in the fierce grip of a record-breaking heat wave and a smallpox epidemic. Through the window of a railroad saloon, a young woman called Jenny Bonnet is shot dead. The survivor, her friend Blanche, is a French burlesque dancer. Over the next 3 days, Blanche will risk everything to bring Ginny's murderer to justice if he doesn't track her down first. The story Blanche struggles to piece together is one of free-loving bohemians, desperate paupers, and arrogant millionaires, of jealous men, icy women, and damaged children. I have a feeling I will like this, but I read some reviews that are like, this is raunchy. That doesn't put me off to a book though, so I'm not exactly sure what the raunchy is, but she's a burlesque dancer, so I mean, what are you expecting? This series I just stumbled across at the Buy Sell Trade. Never heard anything about it, which is weird because you guys know I am an Orbit fangirly. Throne of the Five Winds and The Poison Prince by S.C. Emmett. These are Asian-inspired fantasy that I've never heard of, so I really want to get into it. It says 2 queens, 2 concubines, 6 princes, innumerable secret agendas, a single hidden blade. The Emperor's palace, full of ambitious royals, sly gossip, and unforeseen perils, is perhaps the most dangerous palace in Zaun. The Lady Kamor Yala has only her wits and her hidden blade to protect herself and her Princess Mahara. Sacrificed in marriage to the enemy, a hostage for their conquered people's good behavior to secure a tenuous peace. But the Emperor is aging, and the Kir princess and her lady-in-waiting soon find themselves to be pawns in the 6 princes' deadly schemes for the throne. And a single spark could ignite a fresh rebellion in Kir. So, it's also blurbed by Tasha Suri and Kate Elliott. So, I have a feeling with those two blurbing these books that I'm going to get into something fairly interesting. Now, it breaks my heart a little bit because there's no audio, and these are chonky books. But I will get around to them. I just have to wait for a time whenever I can actually sit down and read. And then I had seen in the blurb here, translator's notes. So I don't know if these are actually translated works or if the Chinese words so maybe these were translated. I'm not sure. I would say it would almost have to have translator's notes in the beginning, but very excited. Next is a second in a series that I have very much enjoyed. The first being The Obsidian Tower, this being The Quicksilver Court by Melissa Caruso. Now, I haven't read this one or bought this one in the past because I realized this was a secondary series, and so I bought the original series, and I still need to buy The Obsidian Tower. I don't own it, but I have read it, and I really like the story in this. I really like how you don't have to have read the initial series to read this one, but when you read the original series, there's so much context that you get in these that you wouldn't have known had you not read the initial series. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. But I really love Melissa Caruso's writing. She is quite awesome. This is Rooks and Ruin, and the other one is The Tethered Mage. I don't remember the name of the series, but yeah, I already love Melissa Caruso, so I'm excited to continue with this series. Okay. I had never heard of this, but whenever I saw it, I couldn't pass it up because of the title, Swords and Scoundrels by Julia Knight. Dying is for amateurs. Voko and Katja are champion duelists, a brother and sister known for the finest sword play in the city of Reyes. Or at least they used to be, until they were thrown out of the Duelist Guild. As a last resort, they turn reluctant highwaymen. But when they pick the wrong carriage to rob, their simple plans to win back fame and fortune go south fast. After barely besting 3 armed men and a powerful magician, Boko and Katja make off with an immense locked chest. I can't speak today. But the contents will bring them much more than they bargained for when they find themselves embroiled in a dangerous plot to return an angry king to power. So the titles of these books are Swords and Scoundrels, Legends and Liars, Warlords, and Wastrels. And I love the titles, but it sounds very much up my alley. I love stories about thieves and assassins, highwaymen, like duelists. Yeah, you're speaking my language. I picked up The Paper Magician by Charlie M. Holmberg. I do have another book by Charlie M. Holmberg that I have not yet got to, but I hear a lot of people talk about how much they like this book. I don't actually know anything about it, but I got it for $1 at the buy sell trade, so I picked it up anyway. It says, bound to a magic she never wanted, a young apprentice falls deeper into its mysteries when she must use everything she's learned from her master in order to save him and his heart. So I thought it sounded good, and I am ready to delve into this one too. It is very short, very, very short. It's not quite novella length, I don't think. Oh, well, it's about 220 pages, so almost a novella length, but not quite. And then another one that I picked up because it was $1. The Sword Defiant by Gareth Hanrahan. Someone did not check for new releases whenever they were putting these out, because this is fairly new release. And if you guys know, I did not like The Gutter Prayer by Gareth Hanrahan. I really can't speak today, guys. I don't know what's happening. But I didn't like the way the plot meandered. Now, my friend Kit has told me that this one does that less so, and if I liked the writing of The Gutter Prayer, I would probably still like this one because the plot has been tightened up quite a bit. And so I'm looking forward to delving into this and seeing what I think. It says, set in a world of dark myth and dangerous prophecy, The Sword Defiant launches an epic tale of legendary warriors, living weapons, and bloodthirsty vengeance. I do like a good vengeance story. And I think I like vengeance stories because we have a goal, we have a mission, we have end game that we are trying to achieve. And that means we have a plot. Okay, next from the buy sell trade, A Crown for Cold Silver by Alex Marshall. Now, I've heard quite a few people talk about this, but it was a while ago. And if I'm going to be perfectly honest, I don't remember what it's about, but I remember really wanting to read it. It was all going so nicely right up until the massacre. 20 years ago, Fair General Cobalt Zosia led her 5 villainous captains and mercenary army into battle, wrestling monsters and toppling an empire. When there were no more titles to win and no more worlds to conquer, she retired and gave up her legend to history. Oh, you know what this sounds like? Do you know what this sounds like? This sounds like the Maleficent 7, which is currently one of my favorite books of the year. So, if not my favorite book of the year. I mean, Engines of Chaos, I finished that and I loved that. And then I've got 3 finales to series that I love. But, oh, this sounds like the Maleficent 7. And I'm more excited about this now, even more so than I was, because of this. One that has been on my TBR for quite some time and I just never went and picked it up. A Witch in Time by Constance Sayers. This is a bewitching tale of passion, reincarnation, and magic. Helen Lambert has lived several lives, a young piano virtuoso in 1890s Paris, an actress in 1930s Hollywood, a rock star in 1970s Los Angeles. Only she doesn't know it until she meets a strange man who claims he's watched over her for centuries, bound to her from the beginning. At first, Helen doesn't believe him. Her life is as normal as any other modern career woman's. Then she begins having weird, vivid dreams about ill-fated love and lives cut short. Caught in a curse, Helen will be forced to relive the same tragic events that ruined her previous lives. But with each rebirth, she develops uncanny powers. And as the most powerful version of herself, Helen must find a way to break the curse before she runs out of time. That sounds really cool. Really cool. And like I said, it's been on my TBR for quite some time. I just never actually bought the book, so I went ahead and bought it. You may know that The Last Tale of the Flower Bride is a book I absolutely fell in love with. I love Gothic novels, but I also kind of fell in love with Roshani Chokski's writing. So I was very intrigued to actually pick up The Gilded Wolves. Now this is YA, I do know that, but I've heard like a lot of people compare Roshani Chokski to Laini Taylor. You guys know I love Laini Taylor. Renee Aria. I have really enjoyed some of her books too, but I'm intrigued. I need to know. And I have apparently picked up a couple of books that are set in Paris without realizing it. Okay. I read A Memory Called Empire. If you've seen my review, you will know I gave it kind of a middling rating. And that is because there were some things that irritated me. I liked the book, but there were just some things that I didn't like in the execution of the book. But it very well could have gone 4 stars. I wouldn't have been mad at, like, if I had to give it 4 stars. Anyway, I got A Desolation Called Peace because I liked it enough to know what the rest of the story is. Now, I hate these permanent stickers here. They drive me nuts. But This is the follow-up to A Memory Called Empire. And so I want to read it. I do need to replace my copy of A Memory Called Empire because I had a really trashed version of it. You guys probably saw that in the vlog. Like, I had to actually pick a book that was trashed. That was the prompt in the readathon that I was doing. So yeah, I mean, I'm very excited to continue and find out what happens. Also, because it was $4, I believe it was $4, I picked up Siren Queen by Ning Vo. I've never read anything by Ning Vo, and so whenever I stumbled across this, I was like, oh, why not? Why not? It says, from award-winning Ning Vo comes a dazzling new novel where immortality is just a casting call away. So I do know that this is about a Hollywood starlet, but that's all I know about it, and that's all I really need to know about it, and then I want to read some Ning Vo. So that's why I have this one. And then lastly, you guys saw my July Book of the Month books because I told you they were coming, but that is going to lead me to a giveaway. So yes, I did save the giveaway for last, but the reason I have a giveaway is because I did it again, guys. I did it again. I ordered the Book of the Month copy and then got the Fairy Loot copy. This is twice I've done this. Last time it was Holly Black. What was Holly? Book of Night. And so I ordered this one before I knew this was going to be the Fairy Loot book. So obviously I'm going to be keeping this one because it is just absolutely stunning. Can you guys see this? It says, tear down a lover, rebuild the kingdom. Oh, and there's some character art here with a letter from the author here. But look at this. Look at this. Oh, it is so cool. And wow, I love it. I love it. Oh, this also has a reversible dust jacket, which I think is really cool. Let me see if I can get it in frame here for you guys. I love it. Also, I have recorded this entire video realizing I don't have my mic on, and I do apologize for that. But usually whenever I'm in the floor, you guys can hear me pretty well. And this says, Chloe Gong's adult epic fantasy debut, inspired by Shakespeare's Antony and Cleopatra, is a fiery collision of power plays, spilled blood, and romance amidst a set of deadly games. So you said Shakespeare. That's really all I need to know. Point blank, that's all I need to know. Yeah, if you'd like to win my Book of the Month copy, just comment down below letting me know that you would like to be entered into the giveaway. That's it for me today. All of my links are in a Linktree link below, and I hope you guys have a great day.